Welcome back to Silent Hill 2.
Silent Hill 3.
No, I said 2. See? 2.
Yes, because it is just the map. They didn't redo it or anything like that.
Although, the fog doesn't look as good, I think, on the PC version of Silent Hill 3 as it does in 2.
No.
That's a very interesting back and forth there.
It's when the camera turns around on you so you go in the opposite direction.
Well, it's why the game has tank controls by default, because the directions being relative to the character, tank controls as they're often known, is fantastic if you're going to change camera. If you've got a dynamic camera, then obviously you just want them to travel in the direction you tell them to when you hit the stick in that way.
Yeah. And no, I don't think the fog is quite as good. I mean, it's very foggy, it hides things from your view, but...
It's still better than the HD collection, I think, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah. We're being chased by a dog there.
And we're not getting slow down either, which is also... White van, which is also nice.
Yes, we could continue our Silent Hill 2 drinking game.
But yes, I would have preferred them to have revisited the part of the town from the first game. It would make more sense, I think.
Custom. Cool custom. Yes, so we've kind of been plunked in Silent Hill, as it were. I'm not really sure where we're going. But then that's the fun of it. We get to see it all through Heather's eyes again. But we do have a big thing pointing to the hospital. We have one pointing to the inn.
I think we're more interested in having a look and seeing if we can get to Heaven's Night.
Yes. Because that was just the wall back there, wasn't it, that Laura was sitting on?
Is that the wall?
Yeah, it is. Because you see
okay.
it after you come out, and yeah, that's Heaven's Night.
And you can go in.
Oh, this is neat. Oh yes, that was the other thing I wanted to say. I wondered if the Douglas's missing person case, if it was referring to Silent Hill 2.
It could well have been.
I think that would be cool.
People have postulated that it was James he was looking for.
Because obviously it wouldn't be Harry, because Harry got home. Trying to paint Silent Hill in a remotely good light.
Is Roger Widmark another horror author or something like that? That wouldn't surprise me.
Is.
I don't recognise the name.
Yeah, but we can't go back into the back room.
Yep, that stuff was
Yes,
there.
This is quite nostalgic.
Well, that's what I mean, isn't it too soon for nostalgia?
I don't know, there would have been a few years gap.
Oh, I don't know if you've noticed as well, the costume change. She now has a blood spatter on her top.
Yeah, she's gotten more dirty. Oh god, what was that? Oh god. Oh, it's one of those things.
Yeah, you don't recognise them when they're in a sewer
Well, they're
and
just
not
kind of
flying.
Walking around.
There's Brookhaven Hospital.
Yes, which is where we're going. Are we just going to go in? Alright, no more exploring, I guess. Oh gosh, nurses.
That breathing just hasn't stopped, has it?
They're very unsettling looking nurses.
Ow.
Oh yes, the music isn't going because there's another one. They're almost zombie-like. Sort of shuffling along.
Yes, 1, 2 and 3 all have nurses, but they're all quite different.
It's nice how different they are.
Because in 1, of course, you've got the puppet nurses. In 2, you've got the bubblehead nurses. And in this one, you've got these nurses with the sort of the bob hairstyle.
Yes, and I suppose again, this is the...
You can read the note as well.
Is this the same hospital we come to as James, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, how I love you, Heather. Stanley Coleman.
Now, we didn't do it there, but if you re-examine the doll after you've read the note, she sort of goes, "Oh, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole."
No, you would not. All these notes left around that seem to have your name on them. Well, oh yeah, there was the other note was the saviour, but it was you.
Food only, do not store drugs. Health drinks. Got a health drink? Yep, so, yeah. Yes, it is. What have we here? Leonard. Obsessive ideas, mild schizophrenia. Violent when overexcited.
Oh, and Stanley Coleman.
Sick diary, yeah. Just in case you weren't creeped out enough.
Yes.
Heather doesn't care what's written on that whiteboard, it was for James anyway.
Do you think it's interesting from a sort of a different people experiencing the same town for different reasons kind of thing? Because obviously that's the Silent Hill thing.
And this, I think, is probably more like the sequel that people expected at the time, where it's a direct continuation of the story, whereas Silent Hill 2 was just completely different. And did receive some criticism in the day for that. Obviously now it's seen as a classic, but back then, yes, it did get some criticism for it.
Yeah, it's strange to think of it, because now a lot of people do regard it as the better game.
Well, I do. I think it's probably the best one. I mean, I like all of them. I like 4 as well. But we'll get to that when we get to that.
Oh, we're gonna give the katana a go. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's fairly good. Not very good when they gang up on you.
I suppose not, but it seems to have a little bit of knockback.
C1. C2.
It's nice that everything's just that higher resolution. I wonder how much they actually redid the locations.
I don't think they did at all. I don't think they needed to. I mean, they're both PlayStation 2, so they both have sort of the same... I mean, you could just directly import them into Silent Hill 3, I'm assuming.
Redo textures, things like that.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. You don't have to redo textures, you just import them into Silent Hill 3.
Oh, I know, it's
and run
just...
them with a different engine.
It seems a bit higher resolution.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll take your word for it. It looks the same to me. C3? C4? No, just kidding.
Are you waiting for that?
I was, yeah.
Oh, we've got another note in a doll.
Ah, there's a clue in there. How cute you are, Heather.
It's creepy that he knows you didn't take the doll.
Yeah, the hint is that you're being watched.
A lot of things stuck to the wall.
Including a key. And the bug from Siren Blood Curse.
Is it?
I don't know. Well, it probably is, actually.
Did we need to get something to strip it off?
Yes, it hints at it in the note. It says the stuff that the nurses douse themselves in. Back into the corridor. Only one way.
Got that one, which is definitely
that one's locked.
Yeah. Not sure we've explored all the rooms in this area, but we don't have a map. It's gone.
And the hint is that the same doll as before? Is it just one doll?
It just keeps following you.
And he keeps on placing it in your path. And the hint that there's someone here with you who you're not seeing really plays on the imagination, I think.
Ah, that looks like a map there.
Yeah, she's looking at something on the table.
It's on the other side.
Yes, and you were quite correct. It is a map. A hospital map of Brookhaven Hospital. The hospital we shall explore soon.